Okay, we have Elliott Liu who won his game again for finished 8 out of 8. We have a round of applause.
Yay!
And he's gonna talk about it. So he played Ali Morshedi with white.
So actually, Mike, before we get started on this, there's a little backstory here. So, I mean, Ali and I know each other decently well, and he actually beat me same colors 6 years ago in the California State Championship. So I wanted revenge in this game. In that game, I played D4 on move 1. Mm-hmm. I've also been playing D4 on move 1 more recently. So obviously, I didn't want to do that this game. I also saw that he played this kind of unusual offbeat line of a Lopez in week 3, so I had time to prepare, and so luckily you played back and do it again.
Time enough by this back to life.
Right, remember, wasn't there a famous game in Fisher's book?
Yes, Fisher defended this as white twice.
Okay, so let's continue with.
Although I don't think white's defending.
Right.
Yeah.
Attack.
Okay, so castle, d6, d4. The new hot move here is f6 immediately. There are 3 moves. It's either f6, there's what he did, and there's also pawn takes pawn. So I prepped for all 3. I figured knight takes bishop is probably more automatic for him. So take, f6, knight c3. And here I think he made an error. I only prepped against bishop to b7, which I think is the best move. So the line that I was preparing was bishop to b7.
Mm-hmm.
Queen e2, knight e7, pawn takes pawn, d takes, rook d1, queen c8, bishop e3.
I love your game when I saw you play that.
And the idea, well, I mean, I think white just has a comfortable edge. You know, black has definite issues, and I can do something similar to what I did in the game with some sort of knight maneuver to kind of pick on the weak queenside squares. So anyway, I think bishop to g4 is a dubious move because he's not really threatening anything. I mean, so I go h3, which is like a free move, and now if he takes on f3.
Mm-hmm.
Can we discuss this?
What happens then?
I just take back with the queen, and white's just much better. I mean,
These white squares are horrible.
pawn takes pawn, knight d5, and it looks very bad for black. So it was as if bishop g4 wasn't even a threat. So that's why I think it's not a good move. So bishop to h5, queen d3, c6, rook d1. Just again, simple moves, nothing special. Obviously, the idea at some point is to take on e5. So queen c8 is a good move. It's probably his best move. One variation I was looking at is instead of queen to c8, if he took on d4, I go knight e2, c5, rook takes a6. Rook takes a6, queen takes b5, queen d7, queen takes a6, and it's very interesting. I'm not really sure what's going on.
King doesn't look right where it is.
Bishop for white this position.
Bishop takes f3, gf.
Shouldn't matter. Take, and then knight g3 or something should be much better.
Okay.
For white.
Okay, so let's go back to the game.
Okay, so knight e2. I like this move because it's very flexible. There are many ideas. I mean, I could do what I did in the game. I can also go c4 next move. And so I played it not really sure which one I wanted to do. So you played knight e7. And here I thought for a long time because I had to pick a plan, one of 2 ways.
It's all good.
So I decided just to go knight g3. F7, take on e5, take and bishop e3. So here we see part of the issues with black's position because I'm going to start getting a dark square bind by putting a piece on c5, and unfortunately he can't play pawn to c5 because I just take it.
Right, queen d7 mate.
Yeah, queen d7 mate. Another issue, bishop e6 is by far the best move, but he can't, I mean, he would love to be able to go like knight to g6, but then I just go knight to f5, and he's in a really bad position. So, this is like an only move for him, bishop e6. And here I think I might have made a slight error. I kind of underestimated what he did a little bit. I think maybe I should just go knight h4 immediately. I think in the end I might have gotten too cute with my queenside stuff, but knight h4 might just provoke a weakness like g6 or something, and it's a lot harder for him to get any sort of counterplay. And also, you know, his knight ended up on g6 in the game, and now he can't really play it because the knight just go knight f5. So knight h4 might have been more accurate. But
surprised on this move? I was kind of surprised.
Not at all. I mean, if he doesn't play h5, what is he going to do? Yeah, because my plan is very simple. I play b4 like I did, and I just move my knights to the queen side, and I have a dark square bind. So he has to get some sort of active counterplay. I think h5 is, if not the best move, definitely a principal move for sure. These next few moves are probably forced, I think. So queen c3, h4, knight e2, knight g6. Already here I started kind of seeing these knight takes e5 sack ideas, which happened like 5 moves from now. But I wasn't sure what move order I wanted to do. For example, I almost went just like a calm pawn to b3 here, just to kind of solidify everything. But then I was like, nah, might as well just go for it. So I went knight c1 instead. King f7, knight d3. Again, all pretty much forced. Bishop e7, bishop c5. And here I was surprised, actually. I think bishop d8 is a good move. He has to try to maintain the dark squares and not let me get knight to c5 for free. And here it's awkward for me because now, if I ever sack anything on e5, it's not nearly as good because he has the dark square bishop, and that's hugely important. So I think bishop to d8 is definitely best here in this situation. And I forget what I was planning on doing, but of course white's still better. But again, it's nothing concrete at all. But okay, so he took on c5. You know, thinking about it now, maybe he didn't anticipate my sack on e5, which explains what happened. So knight f4, and here the reason why I thought so long was because I had a minor freak out. Like, of course knight takes e5 is the natural move, but so knight takes e5, and here I was like, oh my god, he can just go king g8. And the issue is now he's threatening knight to e2 check, and my knight's hanging. But luckily I have king h1, and I'm still winning.
Wow.
Because his pieces are so bad, it doesn't even matter. So you know, I saw some demons there, but luckily it all worked out. So take, and here white's just winning. So queen g5, rook h6 is probably a good move. F4, and here, although it's not really human-like, he probably has to bail out with like knight to f8. Oh, that's what he did. So f5. And then maybe just like king g8. It's terrible, but it's probably still his best chance to give the piece back. Yeah, I mean, I was getting a little low on time, so I'm not. Obviously, if you put it on the computer, it probably finds a win immediately. But I wanted just to make simple moves and not have any chance of losing. So. Every move just seemed to make sense, I guess. One move, actually, go back one move, Mike. Or actually, if you don't mind, go back up several moves to like to move 30, maybe. It looks really bad for black, but if I don't play accurately, I mean, black has a lot more tricks than you would think. So for example, after bishop to h5. If I just make a random natural looking move like pawn to e5, for example.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
If I do that, he just goes king to g8.
Okay, just a second.